Hi everyone, we're in part 5 of the subject Medical Care in Korea. Today we will continue to talk about NHIS and we will see more about the cover of the system. Last time we mentioned that NHIS has quite wide coverage, so let's see what's covered. First of all, the amount that covered is based on the type of hospitals that we're going. So as the system have different tiers of hospitals, as we mentioned, the most discount that we can have is in the clinics and private hospitals. And basically the coverage includes everything that is related to your health. So it can be from the smaller things, if you have a cold, if you have a stomach ache, until things such as if you broke a leg or you hurt yourself, and also diseases. So it covers almost the full medical spec. Also part of NHIS support is a biannual medical health check. And this is something that the government is supporting. So anyone who is paying the tax and paying the NHIS can get a free health check every 2 years. Sometimes companies will give it every year, but based on current law is every 2 years. Also part of the coverage are discount rates for at-risk groups such as elderly or children. So this is another support that the NHIS offers. And finally, also parental and childcare coverage. So there is a specific coverage for parents and anything related to your child care. Again, another coverage that we can get through the NHIS. Now that we saw what is covered, let's see what is not covered. First, we have personal accidents and injuries. So if we get injured outside work or in our personal space, it can be also on the road, in the house, anywhere that is not work related, we will not be covered by this system. The next thing that is not covered is a non-benefit items. And under that are literally things that are not really mandatory. So for example, plastic surgery, which we talked about before, will not be covered because this is something that we can do without, so it's not really necessary for us. Or even if we have a type of disease that does not really affect our daily life, it might not be covered. So those non-necessities are not covered. So this is it. Those are the things that are covered and not covered. So now you know what to expect. And again, here are some more tips from me. The first thing that I want to mention is that if you want to get the most out of the NHIS and the most discount and the best coverage, what we need to do is we want to go first to smaller hospitals when we have a problem. And if the smaller hospitals cannot solve it, they will refer us to a bigger and bigger hospital. So this is the way to go in order to get the best coverage. As we mentioned, we have the medical checkup, either biannual or sometimes the companies support the annual medical checkup. So for employees, the medical checkup notice will come from the company, and for non-employees, freelancers or unemployed, it will come directly from NHIS and you will get it to your mail. And this is how it looks like. This is the kind of letter that they send. And we will see also a little bit more of that in the next part. So if you're not employed in the company, you can expect NHIS to directly send the notice to you. Another thing about the medical checkup is we have a medical checkup season, and it's usually at the end of the year, usually around November, December, sometimes January. And this is very popular time for employees and people to take their medical checkup. So in any case, what you need to do when you're taking your medical checkup, you have to make a reservation in your chosen hospital. So call them and make the reservation in advance because they will not be able to take you if you will just walk by. Another thing that is good to know is if you are married to a Korean, you can register your medical insurance, your NHIS, under your spouse's name. And in that case, you will not need to pay separately. And finally, we have English support for the NHIS. So we have an English call center. You can see the number here, but it will also be in the board tab below, so you can check that tab as well. And if you have any questions or anything regarding to your situation, you can call that number and they will give you support in English. And this is the end of part 5. And in part 6, we will continue to talk about the medical checkup specifically. I will see you in part 6.